All right. Good morning. It's Rob Travels with Dottie, and find ourselves well into fall season. It's the 23rd of September, 2024, and we're here in Pahrump, Nevada, and it is 6:55 a.m. and we're happy to be here. Happy to have you. Um, it's getting a little warm during the day this week. It's going to be in the mid 90s, but that'll only last for a week, and temperatures will come down in October. I'm told, I'm promised. So let's get going on the comments. The first one is from M. Campbell, and it's on my positive news video, and that was Alzheimer blood test. They have come up with, it's not released yet, but very promising, showing 90% accuracy for an Alzheimer's blood test, and PET scans and things like that maybe could much lower accuracy, and you certainly couldn't do it in a doctor's office. It's rare, they're rarely done. But there's a lot of advantages to being able to diagnose Alzheimer's fairly definitively, because the only really definitive way is after someone dies in an autopsy. That's a fact. So that's pretty exciting. She says, just knowing you have Alzheimer's is beneficial not only for treatment, but for planning long-term health care and estate planning considerations. It would allow time for those difficult conversations that we often postpone until it's too late. There's quite a few comments on this that make a lot of sense, and that's the first one. Terry Lane said that would be good to know. That's on the positive blood test. Annie's Shenanigans says brain MRI flare images show some type of the plaques in the brain, but to figure out if they're amyloid or not, only dissection and autopsy. I do the MRIs on patients that have some varied treatments, and the MRIs measure the plaques. There you go. I knew we'd have some expert opinions here. Don the First, that would be so helpful to discover in time to give delaying meds, etc. Because there are meds that are available that can delay, not cure, but delay, abate some of the symptoms, at least temporarily. I read somewhere that the brain needs food too, and I'm taking vitamin B1 and B3. My sister says a certain mushroom supplement is excellent too. I've not gone that far yet, but who knows? Lisa Roth. Lisa, that's my buddy Lisa, says, my mother and my maternal grandmother were both victims of this disease. My relatives on my father's side have all been free of the disease. I have acknowledged that it's possible I too may succumb. It is equally possible I won't. In the meantime, I've decided to enjoy my life to the best of my ability. Absolutely, Lisa. Michael's Human, and it's on the video. Let's talk about Nomad RV Life. Love the carabiner idea. I've been using it for about 5 years now, but I use two smaller ones hooked together. Thanks for your great videos. You're welcome. Peanuts 1173 on Alzheimer's. That is good news. My maternal grandfather and father of 6 of his 7 siblings have had dementia suspected from Alzheimer's, and not one of them had an autopsy. My dad had an MRI, but it was after a stroke, so it did some damage. My dad did not really reach the late stages of Alzheimer's, being incapacitated. He had his personality and lovely demeanor until he was put in hospice after the hospital stay. He was in a veterans home, an understaffed memory care unit, and broke his back in 2 places. We're not sure how, but ended up in the hospital, then hospice after that. I'm 57. If a blood test tells me at my age, I think it would be good to know. Dementia seems inevitable for my family. The stages of Alzheimer's are what confused me. As a caregiver for my dad, he didn't reach the late stage really at all before going into the home. He did have a walker, but was unable to use it until he broke his back. He used to hug us and tell us he loved us until hospice. He died at age 78 with all of us there. Now, let me click this because I know the camera was moving and I didn't mean it to be. Dementia is really a symptom. Alzheimer's is the recognized disease process, and the primary symptom is dementia. And dementia is a symptom. It's also a symptom of Parkinson's and other things. So while dementia itself may be recognizable, it's always important to know what is the cause of the dementia so the appropriate treatment can be done. Let's see. Judy again. I am, and it's on my comment video from, pardon me, from yesterday. I'm terrible at losing stuff in my rig. My goal this winter is to get rid of what I haven't used in years. I've been living in it. I always have sort of intend to do that too. But what'll happen? This is, Judy, I'm just going to interrupt your comment and say, my life is, I will throw something out that I have not had any use for the first 3 years, and a week later, I'll desperately need it. That's my life. And that includes organizing my tools. I always big plans for this, but next year is always is my plan. Judy, again, I so appreciate that you don't allow negativity. There's way more meanness and negativity than we need in today's society. It won't change until we stop allowing it. And I was referring to her in the video about going to Terrible's casino and having that great meal. And she doesn't remember either. She said, I'm not sure what I had at Terrible's, but I think it was prime rib steak. Maybe you had the beef, but it was really good. I think I had the ribs and she had the prime rib. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But we'll go again this week and we'll document what it was. Actually, it is documented. If I dig back in far enough to last spring, there's a video with her in it, in her meal. So if you can find it, you get the special prize. And that special prize is recognition. Robert Burns on the comments video. You are enjoying doing comment videos. I sure as heck am. You're having a conversation with each comment person and it seems more enjoyable for you. Yes, 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 with a capital Y. Did you get your brake rotors replaced? No, I had they adjusted the rotors. They asked me if I wanted to replace it, and we had a conversation. They said, it's not really necessary right now, maybe next year, but we'll adjust them, I guess, rotate them. I don't know. They adjusted them and charged like a little pittance to do that. Judy says, on Alzheimer's, says, I lost my mother and both sisters to the big A, Alzheimer's. So far, my brother and I are okay, but symptoms started at the age I am now. You'll have to watch me. Okay. Now, here's my big video yesterday was I got lucky at Tire Works in Pahrump. And the comments are coming deep into here because it took so long to upload this silly, just 12-minute video. I don't know why it took so long. Thank you. That's interesting to know. Hugs to Dottie and George. Happy trails. There's a read more here. What else did she say? And safe travels. So Tire Works is a local tire mechanic place here that really treated me really well. And so I did a video on it. I was so happy and enthusiastic about it. Color Creativity on the same video says, thanks so much for the information. Wow, that was a good mechanic who helped you with that clip. It's really nice to meet honest people. It sure is. Empathy and kindness. King for Day. Your fellow YouTuber Rusty has talked about the rodent problem in RV several times. Don't know that he ever found a foolproof method to prevent it. I believe he put out mouth straps and sprayed a variety of ingredients to ward them off. I'm going to talk about this for a minute. There is mothballs and peppermint and all kinds of things, and people say, this worked for me. Well, here's the problem with their scientific method. I have been traveling for almost 3 years. I've been in this rig and I've been in that truck and traveling around for years, and I have not had a rodent problem. Suddenly, I went to an environment where the rodents and they chewed my wires. That very suddenly happened. Now, if I had gone with one of those methods up to this summer and not had any rodent problems, would it make sense for me to say my method works? No, it makes no sense. The fact that you try something and you don't get rodents, you have to really be in a place where you're having problems. You introduce the solution in that environment and the problems stop. That would make sense. I have yet to see someone sort of document that kind of process, but maybe I'll find somebody that does. Ken Gray said on Alzheimer's, my mother was having problems remembering and coordinating. She had increasing problems remembering simple words. The available tests could find nothing wrong, but I insist she start taking medication immediately, half dose. The doctor later told me that I may have increased her lifespan by early diagnosis. Having a test like this made all the difference. Excellent point, Ken. Excellent point. Robert Burns. I'm sorry about your brake wire problem. I just watched a YouTuber use a few drops of peppermint. Here we go. Oil mixed with some water and a small sprayer to her tires and underbelly to prevent mice from crawling up. Not sure if it works, but worth a try. Other ideas are more involved, and I probably will not try, such as lights, wire coverings that mice don't like, etc. Your tire folks are great. Um, Tips to keep your RV mouse free, plus my secret weapon for keeping mice out, Carolyn's RV Life. I'll check that. I know that channel, Carolyn's RV Life. I'll check that out. Color creativity. The end of my video, thought he was doing this frantic digging thing on the bed, and I like stopped the video. It's like, what is she doing? So Color Creative says, my dog does the digging on the bed too, but I bought a baby receiving blanket at Walmart for Chloe. Receiving blankets are small and made of cotton. I place the blanket on the bed, and when she digs, she only moves the blanket. She'll get it in the position she likes, and then she settles down and lays on it. She'll be content for a long time after that. I think she just wants to get comfortable after laying on the bed for a while. Well, that makes sense. Ken Gray on the comment video. Personal comments are personal. I would remove those comments from my channel because I feel it's not public discussion. Rootfoot, and I was asking him in a comment what that means. It means rooted to one place, not a vagabond or a nomad, I guess. I read a lot and say things other people don't understand. I read a lot and say things other people don't understand sometimes. Ken Gray, laugh out loud at 2142. The video flips and it confused me at first. Yeah, the mirror, and sometimes I mess that up. Anne Marie Sikorsky on if I got lucky at Tire Works. Some people swear by Grandpa Gus's spray product on Amazon. Also, I know that I've heard of that, Grandpa Gus. I know several that leave their hood open during the daytime and a few solar lights underneath the engine bay at night. I also find it worth acknowledging the lady mechanic that first told you the verdict of the mouse problem. Kudos to everyone. That was in a separate video. She was acknowledged and on film. So there's been two videos on this. Let's see. I got lost here. Color creativity. Dogs were created by God. I think all animals were, right? That's my opinion. They are for companionship and getting unconditional love. That's their God-given job. Yes. Mercedes Suarez. Some dogs like to burrow like making a bed in a den. When my dog does this, I toss a blanket over him and he turns around and lays down. I figure he doesn't have thumbs, so he doesn't know how to cover himself. That's great. Anne Marie, happy first day of fall. Right back at you. I love fall too. Color creativity. Thanks for giving the advantages and disadvantages of owning a trailer and truck. This is an older one, unveiling the perfect travel trailer in F-150 match. Perfect for me. I was thinking about converting my minivan, but now I see the advantages of having the trailer. It looks like you're comfortable in your rig. Something for me to consider. Then we have Famous Unknown from the Tire Works video. Agree with color creativity. Dottie is trying to gather some material to lay on. I think I heard somewhere that is some kind of instinct from when their ancestors gathered up loose material to lay out in the wild. I keep cheap sheets on my couch because I gave up long ago trying to keep the dogs off the furniture. It's a constant struggle to keep the sheets flat on the couch because both of my dogs dig at the sheets, gather them up to lay on. Gotta love those sounds. Great. Ken Gray. Dottie is probably trying to get rid of lumps. She suddenly thinks she feels a small top blanket would probably help. For rodents, I've heard that motion sensor strobe lights will keep them at bay. Let us know what you come up with in your research. Wonderful news on Positive News. National Parks new law. That's back at day 50 of Positive News. And back then, there's a bill passed the House of Representatives, God, almost a year ago now, and bipartisan that would allow us to film, us YouTubers to film freely in national parks, and it's been stuck in the Senate ever since. So it's gone nowhere. I don't know why. It's not come up for a vote. Naj, uh, let's see. Hi, Rob. The comment Randy made shows he's a miserable person. Yeah, I kept a nasty comment out there and read it just to show people are curious, when do I block people from the channel? So I wanted to reassure people that it has to be as bad as this for me to block someone. I read the awful comment, then I blocked them. By his comment, I deduced he had high expectations about quartzsite, but he brought his misery with him. It's so sad. So many people are happy in quartzsite, so it must not be the place. It's what you make of it. People like that can be miserable even in paradise. I choose to make paradise of every place I go and see the beauty in everything. And yeah, to Randy, it is sad to, and it wasn't just a list of complaints about quartzsite. It was just nasty stuff that was completely unnecessary, not productive, and ugly. And I responded there. It's sad. It's sad to see someone like that, not really embracing life in a joyous manner, and breaks my heart. But I can't let it infect the channel. Michael's Human. Different boondocking YouTubers that I watch have different things that they use. Most say they are mice at quartzsite, but this comes one ones that camp someone away from others. What I think is, and tell me if I'm wrong, anybody, if you're in quartzsite and you're boondocking, you're pretty far away from a wash or where vegetation and stuff is, you're pretty good for the mice. But if you're parked in your vegetation, you could have a mice problem. And someone could say, that is crap. There are mice everywhere. So take care of yourself. John Cooper. To let you know, Tire Works is part of Tires Plus, which is owned by Bridgestone Tires. Oh, I didn't know that. I know because I'm a retired mechanic from Tires Plus and Bridgestone. Expert opinion. That's why I love comments and love the people who watch my channel. Couple Science says, Dottie stole the show. That's funny. And this one isn't, it's one of those ZW6JSMAR. There's no way to pronounce it. Oh my God, I'm so here to hear about your breaks. And it's so grateful that we still have honest people out there. For Dottie, she's fluffing her bed to make her more comfortable. Question, by any chance will you be doing a meet and greet in quartzsite? And I said, yeah, I am. What I'm thinking of doing is an informal one meeting at the dog park. So that's my idea. Tommy says Eagle Nest has mice. I assume that's a rhetorical question. I didn't answer it. Of course they have mice. What in Siberia maybe does that? They probably have mice too. Pretty hard to find some place on the planet that doesn't have mice or some version of mice. M. John. This is what we do, and never had a rodent issue ever. We soak cotton balls in peppermint essential oil, put the treated cotton balls in small drawstring cotton bags. We place the bags in the engine compartment at a strategic location, on top of each trailer, and a few in the RV. They last about a week. Works for us, should also work for you. A lot cheaper than new wire harness. Safe travels and happy trails. Cheers. Um, it says it's MJMOHN. So, MJ, I would ask, were you having a problem and you introduced this strategy in the environment you were having the problem and the problem stopped? Or have you just implemented it as a preventive measure and never had a problem? There's a big difference. So if you could clarify that, that would be wonderful. Rose, on a short George the Cat, she just says 9 lives. Bob Cruikshank. Bob is very involved here at Preferred RV Resort. And I play volleyball with him here often. He says, welcome home. I will check out Charworks. I'm pretty happy with the dealer where I purchased my truck from. I'll see you at volleyball. We'll be staying in cabins. We have cabins here. They're Friday and Saturday next week. And then Ruby and I leave for a 2,500-mile trip to the East Coast for a Greyhound convention. I'll be gone 20 days. Wow, what a trip. Exciting. Rock on Van Life says, thanks for the great tips. Season 25-26 will be our first year, and that's 5 critical things they did not tell you. Quartzsite. I'm going to sneeze. Well, you know what? If you put your finger here and press, it suppresses the sneeze. And I got that from a ear, nose, and throat doctor. Don't know why it works, but it does. Lisa Ross says, I'm glad they helped you out. I'm even halfway you made it to Nevada home without mishap. That was on Tireworks. Then we have Chip Miller. Well, we're only at 20 minutes. We're not at 40. We're good. Chip Miller. A lot of my dogs have done the digging routine was actually better nest building for a female dog getting ready to give birth to a litter of puppies. Dottie, you better not be giving birth to a litter of puppies. It would actually be impossible. Keep a small blanket there for Dottie to curl up and lay on. It's a very natural thing most dogs do. Some dogs just circle a few times before laying down, just one of the instincts from the days before dogs were domesticated long ago. And Chip Miller, enjoy your videos. I use a carabiner on a belt leash system for walking and hiking with my dog. This can let me be hands-free, which I can reach when I'm needed. Maggie, my hound dog, and I will be in Quartzsite next November. That's a good point. If you're hiking with your dog, to have your hands free so you can use your hands if you lose your balance and fall. If you have the leash and you fall, you may let go of the leash and your dog may take off. Carabiner is a good thing. Good thing. Good thing. Nancy Monderos. Hey, it's been a while since you commented. All the pay forwards you've done. All the pay forwards you have done in your life paid off for wiring. So glad it's fixed. Nice. Don the First. It's a dog instinct. If Dottie was in the wild, she would circle and drag the grass until it looks comfy. Parrot Pup Camper. Cheryl, how wonderfully you treated you so fairly, Rob. Mostly, I'm glad you made it safely to Nevada. Thanks, Cheryl. And she mentioned that she's checking for snakes and making her bed. That's what I've always been told. Checking for snakes. And I think if I refresh, I saw another comment come through. Ooh, more than one. Oh, you know what? They're on the video I just released. There's several of them. So Rose said, I did a short on the close-up of the koi in the pond here. And she said, I find these peaceful, refreshing, and relaxing. And I did a video on RV trailer cleaning solution. In the title, I said, not sponsored, no sales pitch. I was trying to find a vacuum that was going to work for me, and I sort of documented the process. Wasn't sponsored. I'm not trying to tell you to buy a vacuum. I won't do that. So M. Campbell says the batteries and beater heads on these types of vacuums can often be replaced with compatible components that are a fraction of the cost of the factory. I have a Dyson that my neighbor threw out many years ago. I replaced the battery twice. In a comparable one, it only took YouTube video in about 10 minutes. I also replaced the beater brush when it died. It's been going strong for 10 years and counting. Yeah, that's a good, a Dyson is pretty expensive. And my point on this one is the new one I got, instead of having a battery, it plugs into 120. So that gives me, I don't need to worry about a battery. And it's more power. It's way more suction power. And it was only $129. And I didn't throw out the old one. I gave it to my neighbor who doesn't have pet hair to worry about. And she was all excited. She cleaned the thing from stem to stern, charged it up, and she just loves it. So nothing went to waste. 60 Clow. Shark is a great vacuum cleaner. I've had two, and they're both great, high quality products. Good to know. And it was it's a like $199 retail, and it was on sale at Home Depot for $129. And that's it for today. I'm happy that, can you tell I love doing these videos? Because it's like I'm talking to you directly, and I really feel like I'm getting to know people. I was thinking of doing a video where I just give a lot of information about myself and my background and say, ask me any questions you want within reason and not too personal. And that might be fun if I did a separate sort of video on that, answering people's questions. And just let me know in the comments what you think of that idea, if I should do that. Take care.